The notification arrived at 11:43 on a Tuesday night. DoorDash. Her pad thai was 12 minutes away. Maya picked up her phone and looked at the order total, $31. The restaurant was 8 minutes from her apartment. The same dish, ordered in person, cost $17. She had paid $14 extra for someone to drive it to her door, plus a service fee, plus a delivery fee, plus a tip she'd rounded up out of guilt. She set the phone down and looked at the ceiling. Maya was 34 years old, earned $67,000 a year, and had $340 in her savings account, not $3,400. $340, less than she had spent on food delivery the previous month alone. She knew this because she had finally, that afternoon, looked. It had started with a conversation at work. Her coworker Daniel, unhurried in the way of someone who had settled something important inside himself, mentioned offhandedly that he was paying off his car by spring. "I thought you just bought that car," Maya said, 3 years ago. Used. About $18,000. Almost done. Maya's own car. New. Leased. $489 monthly. Was worth less today than the day she drove it off the lot. New cars lost roughly 20% of their value the moment they left the dealership. On her $46,000 vehicle, that was over $9,000 gone before she reached the first traffic light. Daniel's Camry had already absorbed its steepest losses before he bought it. His monthly payment was nothing. His insurance was lower. The money he wasn't sending to a lender was going somewhere else entirely. "Where does it go?" she asked. "Investments? Mostly. Some into a house fund." Maya nodded slowly, as though this were ordinary information and not something quietly rearranging her understanding of the past 3 years. That evening, she opened a spreadsheet and listed what she actually spent versus what she thought she spent. The two lists were almost entirely different documents. Food delivery, she had estimated $80 a month. The real number was $340. Twice a week, at a $15 premium per order, the gap between app price and restaurant price, stacked with fees and tips, had compounded invisibly into $4,080 annually. Money paid for the privilege of not driving 8 minutes. Streaming services. She subscribed to 6. She'd added each one because a specific show appeared there and nowhere else, which she now recognized as a deliberate strategy. The platforms had fragmented their content to force exactly this outcome, reconstructing the cable bundle they claimed to replace, charging separately for each piece. She was paying $73 monthly. Subscribing to one service at a time and rotating would cost $15. She had simply never stopped to calculate it. Fast food. She'd told herself it was cheaper than restaurants. The receipts disagreed. $15 at Chipotle. 12 at McDonald's, which still astonished her. Fast food prices had risen 55% since 2019, and she had accommodated each increase without noticing, adjusting her expectations a quarter at a time until a $6 meal cost $14 and felt normal. The list kept growing. A forgotten skincare subscription box at $38 monthly, products accumulating in her bathroom still wrapped in tissue. Branded cleaning supplies bought out of habit, chemically identical to the store brand beside them for half the price. A buy now, pay later balance on a jacket she barely remembered wanting. The pad thai arrived. She ate it without tasting it. The phone she was eating beside cost $1,200 new. She'd bought it 14 months ago because her previous phone had begun feeling slower after a software update. She understood now that this was not accidental. The slowdown was engineered. The ecosystem pushed toward replacement, and she had responded exactly as designed. A refurbished version of her current phone cost $580 and would have done everything she actually needed. She had paid $620 for the satisfaction of buying new, which had lasted approximately 3 days before the phone became simply the phone. The coffee line at Starbucks moved slowly every morning. She spent $6 to $8 there on weekdays, sometimes more. She had never calculated the annual total because small daily expenses had a quality of invisibility that larger purchases didn't. The number, at a conservative $7 daily average, was $1,890 per year. Coffee at home with quality beans cost roughly 50 cents per cup. The annual difference was $1,700. Invested at 8% over 30 years, that difference compounded to somewhere near $200,000. She hadn't consciously decided that a morning latte was worth $200,000 over her working life. The habit had simply formed before the calculation happened, and the calculation had never happened until now. This was how all of it worked. The economy, examined closely, was well designed for extracting money from people who weren't paying attention. Delivery interfaces minimized friction and maximized ordering. Streaming services fragmented content to force multiple subscriptions. Buy now, pay later financing dissolved the natural resistance of not having enough money. Subscription boxes exploited the psychology of surprise and made cancellation inconvenient. Upgrade cycles were engineered to feel necessary while delivering marginal improvement. None of these systems were neutral. They were built by people who understood human psychology and deployed that understanding toward one end, separating customers from money as efficiently as possible. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reported that in 2024, household spending rose 5.1%, while wages rose only 3.8%. Spending was outpacing earning. The gap widened every year. Maya felt that gap in the $340 sitting in her savings account at 34. It wasn't abstract. It lived in the specific, daily decisions she had made without examining them. She closed the spreadsheet at 1:15 a.m. and wrote a short list. Not a dramatic resolution. Just decisions in order of what would recover the most money with the least disruption. Cancel 5 streaming services. Rotate through them one at a time. Make coffee at home 4 days out of 5. Order delivery once a week at most. Buy used when the lease ended. Never finance anything that wasn't a house. Check the store brand before reaching for the label. Nothing on the list required genuine sacrifice. No deprivation, no meaningful reduction in quality of life. It required only that she make conscious decisions rather than allowing money to flow by default towards systems designed to receive it. She turned off the light and went to bed. In the morning, she would make coffee at home. The daily difference would feel like almost nothing. Over 30 years, it would feel like considerably more.